All right, imagine this. You are rucking. Okay, you are fully geared up in your brand new ruck vest. It's a weighted vest, carries up to 60 pounds, but you've got 30 in there. You've acquired said ruck vest about 90 minutes before you're using it for the first time. And where are you rucking? The mountains of Afghanistan? No. The plains of Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana, where there are paved paths and soccer lads abound. So I'm rucking. I'm feeling equally very cool and very insecure because it's a bit much. If you happen to be watching the live stream right now, you see me in said ruck vest. It is loaded with 30 pounds of gear. By gear, I mean numerous 2.5 pound weights. And as I'm rounding the corner, I see a very good friend of mine, former board member of Your Money Line, a man I coached soccer with, dropping off his daughter to her practice. He sees me from a distance in my tactical weight vest and screams, "Sniper!" And then he drops to the ground and makes a scene so all of the parents and kids look over at the man in the tactical vest. And it was in that moment that I didn't know whether rucking's a good idea anymore. Alas, I have it on right now. Welcome to the Pete the Planner Show, everyone. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Dame.
Hello, Pete. Sergeant Pete.
It's tactical. I love this thing. It is great. I'll tell you this though, Kristen. Can we talk muscles? Do you know any muscle names? Because I got one for you. The trapezius.
Mm-hmm.
This thing pulls on the traps.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So I could look like, a stronger person soon.
A stronger person.
You doing shoulder shrugs while you're walking around just to try and get
They hurt too bad to do that. It's a lot of weight. I have this here at our office. I've had people feel it. The other day I brought it in and had them. I wore it into the office just for the joke. And the worst part about this thing is that it says Ethos.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brand. It's a Dick's Sporting Goods sub brand across the front in big red letters. And it's just, I don't know what I want it to say, like SWAT or Valor, or I don't know what I want it to say. Hi, Sarah, Quincy, Cheryl, Andy. Good day to you. Dame, Kristen, we have to, yes, ma'am.
Well, I have a really quick question about
Go ahead.
the vest. You are someone who tracks your heart rate because you have multiple fitness watches, I think.
Mm-hmm.
When you just wear it around, have you noticed that your heart rate's just higher? Just like right now, for example?
Well, it's funny you say that. I don't currently have on a heart rate monitor. I usually
do, and you don't have one.
I've stopped with the Whoop.
What?
Yeah, it just got dumb. I mean, lots of things get dumb in my life. But to your point, yes, Kristen, it does take my heart rate up about 15 bips more than it would be. Dame, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, exactly.
Bips.
So what do you, hey, hi, Jameson. Hi, Dan or Don. Can't see Dan. So should I keep this on the whole show?
Yes.
It's good for your cardiovascular health.
It might be.
Good for your core, standing there with supporting some extra weight. Yeah.
And like many people on the front lines, people out, downrange, if you will, or on the job, I am standing on a gel mat. Kristen, why did you laugh at downrange?
That's probably where you shouldn't stand.
No, but that's what you say when you're out. You're in you're downrange. That's a military term we use.
Mm-hmm.
SWAT.
Okay, so let's get started with the show. We got to go quick today. We got to be out by the top of the hour. These two people have something.
Important stuff.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, you guys get off the air. I could carry this rocket ship.
Sure. Did you say rocket ship?
That's right.
Okay.
I'm not prepared. Except for a hostage situation.
Have you started putting anything in those pockets yet?
There's weight. Actually, I put a granola bar in one and then some hand
and
wipes.
some electrolyte tabs and
Yeah. A Snickers,
Some Band-Aids.
some pork belly. As I laugh, my belly bounces it off of me. Okay. If you are not getting the visual and you're a podcast listener,
you should.
please get the visual. Go to yourmoneyline.com/beat the planner. I don't know how long I'm going to last in this thing.
You can do it.
Okay,
It'll-
let's go. Let's start the show. In 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show sometimes works. You email us at askpete@petetheplanner.com. That's askpete@petetheplanner.com. And my cadre of experts answers the call. Damian Dunn, Kristen Elanius join me. Hello, friends.
Hello, Pete.
Hello.
All right. So for years, we've been waiting to use this question on the air, but every week within those years, we keep pushing it back.
We do.
And today we get to that question. By the way, Kristen, is it the question about college? Is that the one?
The one that starts hi, Kristen and Company.
Well, they all start that way. From Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hi, Kristen and Company. Kristen and Co, to be more exact. I have twin girls born in 2013. Dame, how old does that make them? Quick.
11-ish.
Could be. I live in Indiana. Kristen, what does that make the person's nickname?
I don't know.
A Hoosier.
Sure.
So I've been taking advantage of the 20% tax credit every year. Initially, I just had one combined 529 account for them, but when they were in kindergarten in 2018, I created 529 accounts for each girl. They both started with $20,000 in 2018. And as a little experiment, I invested one girl's contributions in the 2033 target date fund. And I invested her twin sister's contribution in the S&P 500. I've been contributing at least enough to get the max tax credit each year. It was $5,000. Now it's $7,500. This is the best.
Time out.
Kristen, so do you choose which twin you like better and then they get the S&P, or what do you do here?
I mean, yeah, apparently this parent has favorites.
Fast forward to 2024, they're approaching middle school, and here are the midterm results of my little evil experiment. I added evil. The target date kid has a balance of 73,000, while the S&P 500 kid has a balance of 96,000. Is that cruel that we're laughing so hard at that? Because that's really funny.
No.
I
Nah.
plan to continue contributing 7,500 a year, another 529s, so we can reach the new max of 1,500 tax credit. Blah, 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 blah. I think we may end up with the neighborhood of 200,000 to 250,000 per kid. Still too early to know career plans. They want to be anything from hairstylist to Caitlin Clark proteges. Same. I mean, not the hairstylist part.
You
Though.
too.
Do I want to be Caitlin Clark's protege?
Or a hairstylist.
Sure. And of course, every tween's dream job of a YouTube star, like yours truly. These highish balances have me wondering, should we be cautious about over saving? Dame, I think we capture the essence of it there. Can I just maybe stop? There's more, and it's witty and lovely. So Chuck, thanks for your question. Dame, this is a situation I think about for myself here. I know my daughter's balance. She got about 3 years left. I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of know where she's going to go. My son, it's got 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do?
Keep saving. You keep saving, Pete. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's fortunate enough to be able to put some money away for your kids. There's a high likelihood that they're going to spend every dime of that in college costs by the time they get there. And if they don't, well, there's some other options that you can use for that cash in the long run. If you don't necessarily need that money to catch yourself up on other savings goals yourself, whether that's retirement or that's emergency fund or whatever, just keep putting it away. That money is going to get used for education at some point in the future, or a Roth IRA potentially, or take it out and pay a little bit of penalty and tax on it. Do whatever the heck you want with it. But I'm not too worried about over saving in a 529. That's one of the least concerns I have for my financial situation.
Kristen, you're a certified financial planner and other things, by the way.
Thank you.
Announcement's coming soon. I want to give you my strategy that's slightly different from what the bald man said.
Oh,
it's much in the line of what the bald man said. But then for me, at some point, I am going to pump the brakes, pee the bees, if you will, and I'm going and I'm going to just divert the new savings into something more versatile, less restrictive. Once I feel like I've reached a level of which, I don't know, if they get a little bit of a scholarship for dancing or whatever it is, then I don't want to put myself in a restrictive position. Is that a reasonable strategy?
I think it sounds reasonable. For me, when I think about these questions, I come at it from the maybe this is really revealing about my personality. I come at it from the worst case scenario perspective.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed some of that.
What's the worst case scenario if you stop contributing to the 529 and put the money in another vehicle? So we didn't read some of the like supplementary info, but they're doing well. They can objectively afford to do this. They feel that they should do this. Okay, so to your point, Pete, if they pump the brakes on the 529s and they put the money in an investment account, worst case scenario is, or a brokerage account, they lose the tax credit for Indiana, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's my thinking of the downfall of my strategy, that I'll stop maxing out the credit
Right.
at some point if I do that. So, Dame, what's better, to not max out the credit or have flexibility, or does it feel like 6 one, half dozen the other?
I mean, if you're concerned about what happens if they get a scholarship, you can take money out of 529 up to the amount of the scholarship, penalty free.
Say that again. Say that again. You lost my brain.
If your kid gets a scholarship and you don't need all of, if there's money left over in the 529, you can take money out of the 529 that's equal to the amount of the scholarship, penalty free. That counts as technically it's a non-qualified withdrawal, but it avoids the penalty.
I don't know if I knew that.
But
The more you know.
This is why I don't have a CFP. I just have a PhD.
Now, to your point, flexibility is amazing. To be able to put money into a non-qualified account or whatever and spend it on, maybe you need transport. Maybe one of your kids goes off to school a long way away and you need help getting them back and forth for transportation purposes. 529 doesn't cover that. You can use money in a qualified, non-qualified account for, just things that are outside of the coverage of a normal 529. So flexibility is great. And of course, it doesn't have to be used for educational purposes either. So I love non-qualified accounts. I think everybody that's doing everything they should already as far as preparing for retirement and education purposes, if they've got a little extra money, non-qualified accounts are a great place to put some cash. But don't overlook the usefulness of a 529. I think they're really, really good for pretty much all things education.
Kristen, with 2 minutes left, aren't we all burying the lead here of what your real hot take to this entire situation is?
what?
Don't what me.
What?
You know exactly what.
What's my hot take?
Do you just not think it's a hot take, or do you not remember what the hot take is? Because I want to be
things
about
this one. Yeah,
saving for education.
If they can objectively afford it, it's different.
You've never qualified it that way.
I'm pretty sure that just last week I qualified it that way.
Who's listening?
Not you.
Well, yeah. So, Kristen, one of your perspectives is that part of the issue here is that when tighter than Chuck's situation, when things are just a little tighter than Chuck's or a lot tighter than Chuck's situation, then you should feel no obligation at all to save for college. That's what I believe you wrote in blood on our walls here at the new office.
I did, actually. I'm very firm in that stance. But you guys, the situation's totally different. They can objectively afford to do this. Seems like they're doing well in other areas and have an opportunity to help their children launch into adulthood from an advantaged place financially. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Sure. I can't disagree with your perspective. It's your perspective, right? Like, I think, as you know, Kristen, the cost of education is growing so quickly that a person's career starts in a really rough spot if they don't have student loans under control. But I guess to your point, you've also countered this in the past, and you're right by saying, great, counsel them to not take on such an expensive education.
There it is.
And there it is. And then we go to break. Coming up after the break, Kristen's on the TikTok looking at the social media videos, and she found one the other day that has her head spinning. Another hot take? We'll stay tuned and find out. I'm Pete the Planner. This is Kristen and Co. We'll be right back. Jason, I am wearing my Ruck vest, which is a weighted vest, which has my fitness at a 10 out of 30.
Do you see why Jeremiah was late?
What, I was throwing beans, running beans.
You forgot your phrase already?
I thought it was throwing beans. I like throwing beans. Hold on. I need to take this off. I'm sweating.
Okay, go.
That's ridiculous.
My left armpit there's beaded sweat.
That's enough. Go take it off. Just stop your train of thought. Go take it off. Because
Rick swings. Hey, Rick, look at my vest. Hey, buddy. Hey, Rook. Big Rook. Hey, pal. Hey, buddy. You get me?
I love how Dame just parented his dad.
yeah, well, I mean, so you reach that
Speaking of
point.
which-
You reach that point in your life where you end up parenting your parents.
Yeah.
I feel like the next time I'm rucking while my son's at soccer training and there's all these parents around in their athleisure, my hope is someone goes, officer, and like tries to, ask me to save a cat or something, or, an AKC prized dog. All right, let me take this off. I got to take my headphones off. So you guys entertain people.
Yeah.
Dame, do you want to tell the people anything about this week?
No, you're gonna have to be a little bit less mysterious.
That 30 years ago yesterday was a really big day.
No, I'm still not following you. Sorry, I'm 47.
I was trying to lie for you.
Yeah, I had a birthday, everybody. Kristen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kristen was trying to say that I was only 30, which nobody in their right mind would believe if they're watching a live stream and probably listening based on a lot of my comments.
No,
So,
that's true.
I mean, no, yeah, I had a birthday this week. Okay.
Dame, my birthday wishes to you were saying, son, when I first looked into your eyes when you were born,
Mhm.
someday I imagined that you'd know Krav Maga and live stream from a barn.
Shop.
And both those things have come true, and I'm very proud of you.
Knocking it out of the park. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Couldn't have done it without your 529.
Do you guys think I should get some Velcro patches for the Ruck Fest?
I will absolutely send you some morale patches if you want some.
What are their
Morale patches? Google morale patches.
man? I learned something from you guys every week.
Have you never been to a Mission barbecue?
No, I've been to the Wheeler Mission downtown
Close.
Indianapolis.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to. How about can I get like a Punisher?
Sure. You can if you want. I mean, people will roll their eyes looking at you, but
Is there anything less on brand for me than having a Punisher patch on a?
don't tread on me.
Are they? Do they sell ones that say "Tread on me"? I'm a weakling because I'll wear it.
They might.
Stop.
Tread all you like. Just wipe your feet first. I don't think that would sell many. What do they call Valor patches?
Morale.
Morale patches.
Oh boy, I conflated those two. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show. Kristen, you spend hours and hours and hours on social media, wasting away your life and the good breath that the Lord gave you, being entertained by influencers and ne'er-do-wells. And recently you said to me, man, I disagreed with one of these people giving unsolicited opinions, and I want to talk about it on this here media platform. And it's with that, I toss it to you.
Oh my, what a setup, Pete. Thank you for that. So I saw this take from a financial planner who, without any additional context, said everyone should have a financial planner. And I hate that.
Oh, H word. In my
I
house,
hate-
you would have a timeout with the H word.
Oh,
That's fine.
So you don't like the idea. It's one of those absolutes that people get in trouble with when they give mass advice in the media. Like you should always, or you should never, or everyone like that. Is it just simply based on that? Is that your disagreement?
It's based in that. It's rooted in, without giving additional context about this particular person, I think it's a pretty privileged statement based on some other things that they talk about and that I've seen. And I just think that it makes, while I don't disagree with the sentiment of everyone should be better and more informed about their financial life and their financial decision making, that doesn't make the industry more approachable when you make comments like that. And in the work that we do each and every day, we know that conversations about money in general need to be more approachable.
Who just took a screenshot of
David,
what's
Did you
happening?
hear
right
that?
everyone heard that.
Right. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I took
What exactly are you? Oh, you're sharing the image to our Slack channel.
You being bored.
Wait, Dave, Kristen's giving this unbelievable point of, and then you're you're sending me donut patches for my vest.
it was worth it. Kristen likes it. She laughed out loud. So take that.
Oh boy.
So let me make a suggestion, or I don't know. Let me see if this hits different. Everyone should have access to a financial. I can't figure out the right word to put there. Financial planner is too strong, but a financial, I don't know, guru is not right. Not coach, not
Professional.
professional. Would you feel better if it went that way?
But that's a totally different, you're saying everyone should have access. And that's like the conversation we had a couple weeks ago about like, should everyone be able to objectively afford to buy a home? Oh my word. And we're talking about two totally different things. Is like, should people be able to do this? Should they be able to be financially well? Of course they should, but that's not the reality that we live in. And by making these statements, you make it even harder for the people who are currently not participating in this space.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
Defend it.
Let's. I actually agree with Kristen here.
Oh.
Let's go to an example, as some people call it. If this was parenthetical, it would say E period G period.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
No? Anyway,
Proceed.
you've got a single parent, okay? You got this dude. His name is Steven. I don't know. I just went with it. With a V, not a PH, because
Love it.
that's a little too lofty here.
Traditional. Yeah.
Steven is been through a relationship transition,
Mhm.
divorce. He's got 3 kids. He's the primary caregiver. Makes $44,000 a year.
Okay.
He's got a car loan. He's got some debt from the marriage.
Mhm.
And he's literally living paycheck to paycheck. Steven does not need to employ a financial planner at all.
Correct.
At all. And the idea that a financial planner says Steven needs a financial planner is absurd. I mean, it is absurd. You could even argue that even if he could afford it, which breaks the whole thing, he shouldn't have a financial planner. He doesn't need a financial planner. He needs personal finance help.
Mhm.
But a financial planner doesn't do that, generally speaking. They're there generally for things like contingency planning. So yeah, Steven would arguably need life insurance and disability to take care of his 3 little girls and the guinea pig and the spider monkey that live in the 600 square foot apartment. He would need those sorts of things. But then the other side of that is it's about wealth management and about making plans work out. Steven, in this example, would not need that. So I think the idea that everyone needs a financial planner is A, self-serving, B, incredibly myopic, and C, completely wrong.
Is there any chance that the person who made the social media post, Kristen, was not clear on the roles and duties of a financial planner?
Not even a little.
That's funny.
Not even a little bit. And what I find most ironic about that statement is the scenario that Pete just put together for us with a person who doesn't have investable assets. This particular individual would not take them on as a client anyway. So you're saying, yeah, seek out financial planning, but not from me. Somebody else needs to help you. That's what grinds my
Boy,
gears.
we just got to one of my biggest beefs And I'm not talking about the 96er. I'm talking about when we're like, hey, come work with me if you've got the right amount of money.
Right.
Like I get it. I know math. I get it. But that has, since the time I was in the industry and I was managing people's money, that has always bothered me. And I've gotten better at understanding it and accepting it. But that's a rough one for me, Dame, especially for someone preaching financial planning for everyone. Great. Then take a $10 minimum client.
Minimums are a sticky subject for a lot of folks who see the financial planning or financial industry the way we do. However, I understand why advisors do it. I understand why they try and shape their business in a certain way. If you're any good at it, there's plenty of people out there to try and make that work. So you can get away with it. However, and this is actually how Pete, you and I got to know each other, is because I was super frustrated with the world that is the financial planning industry, how a bunch of people in a very large segment of America are essentially ignored because they don't have access to funds yet that could be investable by a financial advisor. So I get it. I'm not here to disparage financial advisors on how they choose to run their own business, but there is a large group of people that don't have access to qualified professionals because they're not there yet.
I'm trying to couch this correctly here. I gave an interview within the last 6 months to a publication about my regrets professionally. Okay. And I will say, number one, without a doubt, is how I marginalized and trivialized people's challenges by giving big, bold advice that doesn't apply to everybody. I regret it. I mean, I 100% regret it because in this line of work, to hold people's attention, you got to say spicy things. It's why people listen to sports radio. It's why arguably people listen to political talk radio. But personal finance should not be filled with hot takes because there's more at stake. No one's mental health is suffering greatly over, the local sports team losing. And so you have a hot take about the running back. But when you get on the air or you hit on social media and you say things like, if you're not doing this, you're doing it wrong. It's just not that simple. And if it were that simple, the problem wouldn't exist. So it's with that, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to have some chamomile tea, maybe put on some lavender lotion on my wrists, and we'll take a break. Kristen, don't give me a look. I don't even know what that means myself. I'm Pete the Planner. This is getting weird, but if you've listened to the show, there's more of that after the break. I don't know what that means. I was going and then I stopped. Have we talked about the spicy wing thing I did last night on the air yet?
We discussed it last week, and that's when I said you needed to eat them during the presentation. But I don't think we've discussed it.
Let's see if I can play a video of me eating that.
Oh.
What?
Yesterday as your prep?
Yeah.
As the prep video. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do that. It's not there. How are we doing on time? I feel like we're moving along pretty good, right?
About halfway through the hour.
All right. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Give me a half second. Okay. Can you hear that?
Still no. I feel like I'm the optometrist. 1 or 2.
Can you hear that?
I can hear your voice being weird.
Can you hear that?
Oh,
Okay, never mind. How'd that work?
that was
Well,
wonderful.
Now I can't hear you.
What? Testing 1, 2.
No, he's not serious.
No,
Okay, am I back?
You've always been here.
I can hear you. Okay. Try one last time.
dang it. I was really hoping, Kristen, you were going to go along with it and try and
We
continue.
don't have time, or that would be funny.
Okay, we do got to keep it moving. What are we talking about in this segment?
I have no idea.
Let's just go live. We'll figure it out.
We could talk about who does need a financial planner.
In
I feel
3,
like
2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner Show, the show you come to find out who does need a financial planner. Kristen Elanius, Damian Dunn, and Peter Dunn. Relation?
None.
Maybe. What? Why are you disclaiming me as a relative, Dame?
It's just part. It's who I am now, Pete. You've disclaimed me for so long that I'm not going to even try anymore to let people know how we're related.
All right, Kristen. Before the break, we talked about the idea that not everyone needs a financial planner. Not everyone does. What is the barrier of entry of financial planning? What do you have to have accomplished, or what is the realities of your life that you need in order to say, I'm going to have a financial planner?
Damien's saying that it's money. You got to have money. No, I think it's more about one of our favorite listeners in the comments said that maybe it's more about everyone needs to have a financial plan. Not everyone needs a financial planner. And I think that I can support that statement, which is that like everyone should and has access to have a plan for their personal finances. You can learn, you can improve your financial literacy, and everyone should have a financial plan.
Yeah. Here, I agree with Andy's sentiment, who said that in the comments. I agree with your idea there. Dame is looking off to the side. Is it The Return of the Mouse?
No, I was looking for a book that I thought might be a good example, and I don't think it's on my book
Man,
here.
so Dame is taking screenshots of donut patches during the show today. He's looking for books. Did it pertain to the segment?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course it did.
Well, let's do this. Let's do a little role play. Let's act like you found the book. Hold it up and illustrate the point with us.
I gotta remember who wrote it first. Hang on. I feel really bad if I didn't.
Does your barn have a library?
I have a couple bookshelves out here.
Yeah, it's a barn.
Well,
you just continue on. If I find it, I'll let you.
No. So, Pete, when we're talking about financial planning in like what we would generally picture or envision when we're talking about people who need financial planners, I would say a particularly someone who has dependents, but again, objective affordability is the key here. But I would say that's the type of person who needs a financial planner, is like whether it's the single parent that you mentioned in the previous segment, or like you and Mrs. Planner, like whether you employ that person on an ongoing basis or you have them help you with a one-time financial plan, I do think you should consider sitting down with a financial planner.
okay. So I think we also, and someone may have said it already, is you get into the semantics of titles with this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a financial planner is an actual pretty specific thing. And a lot of people inappropriately use that phrase and or title for their own purposes. Dame, so life insurance experts, professionals often grab the title financial planner. They used to. I don't know if they still do, or maybe they do in conversation, but not in a written form. People need life insurance before they need a financial planner. So they might go to a air quote financial planner to get that life insurance. Is that a reasonable example?
Yeah. I mean, it is an example of checking a box on a financially stable life. Not entirely sure that person qualifies as a financial planner. They might, but they might not. At the same time, they are helping you fulfill one slice of that pie. As we've talked on the show, I don't know how many times, Pete, that term is thrown around way too cavalierly than what I would prefer. So people call themselves financial planners. It's not going to be regulated anytime soon. So if you're working with a financial professional, know exactly what role they're going to play in your life and just use them for that.
Would you prefer the scenario that Pete just set up where you talk to someone about life insurance first because you don't feel like you're necessarily ready for a like full financial plan? I actually would prefer the inverse. Like even if you're not sure you're totally ready, to have a financial planner tell you how much life insurance you need and then to seek out an individual for a specific type of policy, not go to the insurance agent to ask about the insurance directly. Does that make sense?
Are we talking ideally? I mean, that'd be wonderful if that's how it worked, but we just we just got done saying how hard it's going to be for a big group of people to get in front of a qualified financial planner in order to find that out. So I would much rather somebody get what they think is appropriate, or at least what a life insurance needs worksheet tells them is appropriate. And then if they can back it off or add to it, supplement to it after they finally get a chance to talk to a financial planner, great. But I'm not going to have them sit around and wait to get coverage just because they don't qualify to sit down with a planner.
Here's the tough part about this, and having been on the other side of this conversation as a financial professional. So you either pay for the financial plan. Here's $2,000, complete a financial plan. So under that scenario, in the example we set up with Stephen and his, cornucopia of animals and children, that is a non-starter. He's not paying $2,000 for a financial plan. Stephen goes to an insurance professional who, as a courtesy and theoretically as a path to sell product, completes a basic financial plan, right? Pretty common. In fact, I'll be honest, part of my career was doing that. Then there's the other side, which is if Stephen actually had assets, in order to help them with a financial plan, they just want the asset management fee, and they'll complete a free financial plan as part of those services. So that's where this also gets tricky, is you can pay a financial planner to complete a financial plan 3 ways. Pay them an outright fee, which I kind of like. I got to be honest. Number 2, they manage your assets, so they throw in a financial plan. It's okay. I don't always love it, because sometimes, as my Indianapolis Business Journal column that I turned in today notes, people get distracted by investing and don't care enough about their financial plan. And that includes investment managers who try to provide both. And then the other element here is back to the insurance person. If the insurance person's trying to sell you term or permanent life insurance, and they happen to help you set goals and create a budget and put together an emergency fund, then even though they're not technically a financial planner, you will call them a financial planner. And that still doesn't satisfy Kristen's social media person's hot take about everyone needs a financial planner, because what that person meant was everyone needs a high-end financial planner like him, who would also be unwilling to work with people who have no money.
Do we want to try and identify like the very
person? Yeah, go ahead. Name their name.
No, I'm not going to do that, at least on air. Do we want to identify the very core pieces of what a basic financial plan looks like? Like if somebody's going to try and figure this out for themselves, what needs to be addressed?
Well, before you do that, let's decide who does it, because I wrote it in a column and I have it right here today. Or what's probably a better idea is if the 2 certified financial planners on our show probably give the list. What do the people want? Do they want my cockeyed view of financial planning, or do they want these 2 professionals?
Yeah, yours. And then Kristen and I can weigh in on whether or not you got it right.
He already turned the column in.
I know, it's great.
This is the best show. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Can we just go thumbs up, thumbs down?
Sure.
Yes.
Set goals.
Thumbs up.
Okay. Dame, it is still a radio show, so you're going to have to verbally
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. Okay. And Kristen will answer first. Create a budget.
This is what a financial planner should be doing?
This is part of a financial plan.
Basic financial plan.
In practice, thumbs down.
Okay, Dame?
I love the concept. Thumbs up for the concept. In practice, maybe not for a financial plan. I'm right in the middle.
We've got 40 seconds left, so tighten up your answers.
Okay.
Build an emergency fund.
Thumbs up. Keep it going. Tighten up your answers. Come on.
Reduce debt.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Get insurance.
Thumbs up.
Save for retirement.
Thumbs up.
Consider tax planning.
Thumbs up.
Create an estate plan.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like Kristen does not want to work with people without money. I mean, that's my takeaway.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That was fun. Speaking of fun, let's come back with the biggest waste of money of the week. I kind of like this one. It's next on the Pete the Planner show. 2 seconds over.
Less Mellencamp for the people.
You guys haven't said that in a long time.
What?
Yeah, that's true. We haven't. I like it though. Okay, let me. Man, hold on. Let's keep it rolling. We're doing good on time here.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to talk that social media post. I actually named the show on the live stream today that we're going to talk about should you invest in social media.
Oh.
Oh.
How about this? Hey, if you're here today because I said in the comments today we're going to talk about should you invest in social media.
Sorry.
We're not going to talk about that. But I hope you enjoy the show. Sorry. Okay. Whoa, Dame went away and he's back.
I hit the wrong button. I tried to mute so I could chew some ice real quick. Hit the camera button. Sorry.
Guys, can we be in a moment of honesty and trust here for a moment?
Probably not.
My left eye is sort of pulsing, and I think it's from the sedentary workout I had a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's pumping out. It's like it's burning calories. It's just like you're gonna be fit. I feel like my core's tightening, and so my eye's pulsing. Is that a thing,
Absolutely.
Kristen?
Yeah. Hey, Pete, I have an extra registration for tomorrow's half marathon. You could wear your vest and do the half as a ruck.
I would take you up on that. Unfortunately, I'm driving 3 hours for a youth soccer game. All right, let's get started. Don't get Kristen started on that. She'll get very upset.
That's true.
Very upset.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week right here on the Pete the Planner Show is the King Kennedy Bespoke Reclaimed Rug Duffel Bag. As items that go underfoot, rugs naturally take a lot of abuse. That makes them ideal as a building block for luggage like King Kennedy's duffel bag. Time out.
Granted.
I kind of love that copy.
Really?
Yeah, let me do it again. I'll do less affect.
Okay.
It's really good. As items that go underfoot, rugs naturally take a lot of abuse. That makes them ideal as a building block for luggage like King Kennedy's duffel bag. I think it's good copy.
Okay.
It's crafted from antique Caucasian rugs. What?
Pete loves this copy.
Wow.
All right. Time out. I rescind my copy comments. From antique Caucasian rugs. Are they bad dancers? Are the rugs woven in the late 1800s? So not quite as tough as the synthetic ones from the local Home Depot and supple Italian leather. By the nature of their construction, each one is unique, but they share an interior zip pocket, zippered closure, and an included shoulder strap, luggage tag, and dust bag. That is the bomb up for grabs here today, and I am so thrown from antique Caucasian rugs.
This is so all over the place. Why does a rug need a dust bag?
Exactly. You just got done saying how tough it is because it spends time underfoot, but you need a bag to keep your tough bag in.
That is an incredible point. We all know how tough Caucasian rugs are. Man, I got some Googling to do when we're done today. All right, Kristen, one of the world's foremost Caucasian rugs experts.
That's me.
What do you think this here traveler bag costs?
This traveler bag is $700.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, crap.
You can see that in the white of your eyes. Dame?
I mean, the name, who's the manufacturer of this? It sounded pretentious.
King Kennedy Bespoke Reclaimed Rug Duffel Bag made from Caucasian rugs.
It's
Yeah,
too
this-
many words. It's
This
actually
is
cheap.
like a $2,000 bag.
As Jameson notes, Pete and Dame get hair pieces. They would be called Caucasian rugs. Well done, sir. Deep in the heart of Texas. Thank you, Jameson. 4,200 American dollars.
That's ludicrous. It's do you have to hang this bag up and beat it to get the dust out every once in a while like you do old rugs? Or?
I don't know. Like here, I love a good weekender. You know, a good weekender bag. You throw some things in there and weekend. $4,200. It's wild. Dame, what's in the news this week?
In a special report on the booming U.S. economy, The Economist revealed some eye-popping statistics that show how, since the 1990s, America has Katie Ledecky'd the field when it comes to economic performance. In 1990, the U.S. accounted for 40% of the GDP of the G7 group of wealthy countries. Today, it makes up roughly half. Economic output in the U.S. per person is 40% higher than in Western Europe and Canada, and 60% higher than in Japan. Average wages in Mississippi, the poorest state in the U.S., are higher than the average wages in Germany, Canada, and Britain. What is the American economy's secret sauce? According to The Economist, factors include its large consumer market, tech innovation, the world's most sophisticated financial markets, and a deep labor pool coming from its first-rate universities.
I have such a hot political take I want to share right now, but I am choosing not to.
Okay. That
USA.
does
Oh, it's so
argue.
hot.
Yeah.
Like after the show, if you guys had time, I'd bring it up to you and we'd probably argue about it a little bit.
I think we will, because we're going to wrap this up in about,
I'll let people draw their own conclusions, but I just want to point out a deep labor pool from universities. There's a deep labor pool that is contributing to very nice GDP that are not from universities.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
read into that however you like.
I totally agree with you on that. I guess we're both getting morale patches for that. Pantone's muted peach fuzz is getting blown off the color sample wall because gold is so back, baby. The precious metal touched another record high this week, and experts say the rally could continue, potentially passing. Pete, do you know what gold is an ounce right now?
I mean, it's just, like 1/16 of a pound.
Yeah. How much per dollars? US dollars per ounce are we?
3,200. I don't know.
$2,800 an ounce could
That was a
potentially
good
pass
guess.
$2,800 an ounce in the weeks leading up to the presidential election. Why? Well, along with consuming zebra cakes, people tend to buy gold when things feel uncertain. Despite the Fed's quelling recession fears and reports that the U.S. economy is doing great, there's still a lot of dubiety. The tumultuous presidential election, lingering concerns about inflation, rising geopolitical tensions in Ukraine and the Middle East. Oh my. Through all that, gold's up nearly 31% this year.
Speaking of, let's go through and rank our favorite Little Debbie snack cakes.
Ooh.
I have a hard time figuring out which is Hostess sometimes and which is Little Debbie. So,
well, let this body, this temple, help you with that.
This is something of interest to Pete.
Number one, Nutty Bars. I mean, it's just,
okay.
Kristen, what's your number one Little Debbie selection?
A zebra cake for sure.
Those are delicious. Dame, number one.
Double-decker oatmeal cream pie.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it sounds like a little bit of a mutant, but I gotcha. How about I think you don't see them all the time, the peanut butter bars, where you could like bite off. It was like a peanut butter log. It was like a poor man's peanut butter Twix. And you'd bite off the shell and there would just be this peanut butter log on cookie. That is delicious.
I don't know if I've had one of those.
I think you're making that up.
No. With all your mid-show Googling, look it up, Billy.
No, you can't make me. I'm not going to do that.
I'll send you a later. Okay, next. What else do you got?
Have you had the ice creams, the Little Debbie ice creams?
No.
They're all very good.
Like ice cream?
Yeah, they put the pieces of the snack cakes in the ice cream.
I had the
oatmeal cream pie is very good, and Swiss roll is very good.
Jameson notes in the chat. He says donut sticks or Star Crunch. Jameson, you contributed so much to the show, not only today but over the years. The Star Crunch take is awful.
What is
Star
that?
Crunches are the worst confection in the history of confections.
Crunch.
Terrible.
So much Googling to do after this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, Dane, what else is the news?
Pete, we've talked about this before. If history is any indication, investors should hope the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the New York Yankees in the coming series. Turns out the stock market tends to see higher returns in the subsequent month, quarter, and year after a team from the National League wins the World Series than if an American League team wins. on average. Since 1957, the S&P 500 has gained an average of 15% annually after a National League team won, while it only increased 9% on average after an American League team won. Fun fact, though, no team has caught more stray foul balls than Philadelphia. Every team based in Philly has had a detrimental effect on the market. If they win, it's a canary in the coal mine. For the record, Philly teams won in 2008, 1980, and 1929. Yikes.
So, Dame, are you suggesting that who wins the World Series is going to have a bigger impact on the markets than, I don't know, who wins the presidential election this year?
Clearly, that's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah, he's a CFP.
Yeah.
Registered trademark. Any more news, sir?
Sales of previously occupied U.S. homes slowed in September to the weakest annual pace in nearly 14 years, even as mortgage rates eased and the supply of properties on the market continued to climb.
What?
Yeah. Existing home sales fell 1% last month from August.
Good.
Chris.
Maybe I'll be able to afford one.
All right, that's it. That's the show. Here's what we're doing next week on the show. Are you guys both here?
I think so.
I think it's the day after Halloween. So,
Oh, well, I'll be sleeping it off.
we're making presidential election predictions.
No.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And you reveal your votes. All right, send in your good vibes because good vibes are all that's in the budget. This is the Pete the Planner Show, and we hope your life is good from here. I don't know why I said that.
And you reveal your votes.
I will be happy to participate, but much like many of the swing states, I will have to wait 10 to 14 days after the election to be able to reveal my vote because it will take that long for me to tabulate my votes.
I can't say there's a period of American history I'm looking forward to less than the next several weeks. I don't. Everything's going so well. I don't. In my life, like just it's like almost guaranteed chaos. Guaranteed chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You better get some of those morale patches for your vest so people take you a little bit more seriously.
I think what bothers me the most, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm being me and Pollyanna here, but like, we're just going to be more divided in a week or 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's the worst part. It's something's going to happen. And no matter what that something is, we're all madder at each other than we were before.
Yeah.
I hate that. That's stolen valor. I don't actually, it's not. Dave, I am back on your guy though.
Are you?
Oh my gosh. He's doing shorts now on YouTube.
Really?
So you don't have to watch his pretty long videos.
Oh, they're very long.
And he's a tough man. He'll go up to someone like, you said on this thing, you were whatever, and you're not, and you better stop. Do you hear me? And the person's like, yeah, okay. All right. Well, you guys have a thing. You guys got plenty of time to go do it.
Yay.
Everyone else, how about we give you 8 minutes back to your day?
I hate that.
That's why I say it to you every time we in a meeting early. Unfortunately, we always run over because of all the yapping. All right, everybody. Just kidding. Stay getting money.